Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Avenger Pretenders. That's right, the geek and the redneck, JT and Sully. Actually, that's Sully and JT are here once again to review for you this week episode 8 of She-Hulk. Yes, episode 8 of She-Hulk, last one of the series. So do us a favor. Sit back, relax, but make sure you grab your adult beverage, your drink, or whatever you're going to have, and some snackage so that you can enjoy it while you're here. Sorry, it's all yours.
Oh, I thank you, but it's not the last one of the series. We still have one episode after this. There's one more. 9 episodes of She-Hulk. It's crazy.
But there was 8.
Nope, 9. We got one more. You kidding? They're not going to leave us on a cliffhanger like that. Come on.
Bullshit. Come on. This is the Avenger. This is Marvel. Yes, they will.
No, they won't. There's no closure right now.
You want closure? Come back next.
Yeah, pretty much. You wanted the closure? You got to come back next week. That's the way we do things here. Yes, if you don't do it, it's fine. It's fine. You know. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. See, you see. So, hello everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. I am your host, Sully. It is how we do things, and of course, got to make sure to say hi to everybody who is watching at home, whether it's on their TV or on their phone or tablet or even on their computer. It's pretty much how it goes. And Big Tank says the only thing in the episode that was good was the walk of shame, but we'll get into that because let's face it, there's a lot of things that happened in this, 35-minute episode.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff that happened. And, obviously we got to talk about it because if we don't talk about it, what's the point? Right?
The thing I'm not understanding with this show.
Yeah.
With this show is how much hate is being thrown at the theory. I don't understand it. And I mean, like with Echo and even with Tank, we get, I didn't like that. But I've never seen this much hate. I mean, literal hate.
Yeah, there's a lot of hate
for this series. And it's like, this is, in my opinion, this is one of the best series that they put out.
It's more comic book-like than anything, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I will give them that credit. It is, more comic book like.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's just been really weird.
Not exactly 100% sure as to where all the hate's coming from, people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like,
just
come on, guys. It's not that bad. I mean,
just putting it out there.
What more do you want? Naked Jen Walters? Well, you almost got it.
Multiple times. Multiple times. But this week's episode is titled Ribbit and Rip It, which I think is a great catchphrase. Ribbit and Rip It.
I love that. I mean, the character itself, as we will get into, is dumber than me drunk on moonshine.
Dumber than a box of rocks.
No. I'm dumb as a box of rocks, so it's dumber than me drunk on moonshine.
True. Very true.
So,
Very, very true. Well, we start the episode off with a little bit of a bank heist. Big Tank says, back to the lily pad. Yeah, we'll get into that too.
It's only one L in lily pad, or one, not a double L, just one L in lily pad.
But who cares? Because, as much as people are dissing the episodes, there was a lot in this.
There was
a lot of stuff. First and foremost, in this episode, She-Hulk is representing Leapfrog, a new superhero that's around, and we see a little bit of a botched heist, so to speak, I guess you could say, or a botched stopping of a heist.
There you go.
That's probably the best way to put it. A botched stopping of a heist, where Leapfrog, who had his outfit made by Luke Jacobson. And if you don't remember who Luke is, he's the one who made She-Hulk's costume. We saw Daredevil's helmet in an episode. So we know that he makes the costumes for the superheroes on the West Coast, and in this case, the East Coast when it comes to Daredevil. Big Tank says, "Thank you, Captain Grammer."
Yeah, I just replied to him. I said more like private grammar, not even E1. I'm talking basic training private.
Oh, you're a recruit.
So E0.
You're a recruit. Well, when Leapfrog tries to stop the robbery and process, his suit kind of fails him a little bit and tries to fly away, only it malfunctions and he falls to the ground going splat. And his legs catch fire.
Here's the weird thing to me, okay? He tries doing all these martial arts moves.
Yeah.
And he fails miserably on every one of them.
Horribly.
And then he activates the boots, throws the
fire in the hole,
rolls the ribbit and rip it line.
Rip it and rip it.
Laying down flat on his back when he activates.
I think I want to use that line from now on. Rip it and rip it. I mean, really, come on. It's such a good line.
It is. I mean, it's one of the better catchphrases that we've been in.
Oh, hands down.
Hands
down.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Now the other thing with Leapfrog, his real name is Eugene Patillo. If you don't know who that is, he's actually the son of the original Leapfrog. So it ties to the comics a little bit here, because the original Leapfrog, his name was Vincent. So the other difference is he looked more like a frog in the comic books. But yeah.
It was definitely an interesting costume.
It was.
Yeah, I'll give it that. It was definitely an interesting.
I mean, he made him look good. He made him look like a frog, which was great. But yeah, rip it and rip it. And what happened was the jets on his boots malfunctioned and his legs caught fire. And he decides that he's going to go to Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway and ask if She-Hulk can file a lawsuit against Jacobson. Which, for her, she's a little, I don't know, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to do that.
He makes my clothing.
He makes.
This is a conflict of interest.
Which it is.
Very much so.
But then the boss throws they're willing to sign a release.
Yes, the release form.
Release form. That's the second time he's thrown that release form at her. Yeah, it's like.
Which you can see, like, in the look on her face. It's just like, really? Again?
He's like, fuck.
God damn it.
And she wanted to say that.
Oh, hands down. So what she does instead is, her boss tells her, you could potentially settle out of court.
Right.
You could. So she goes to meet with Jacobson and starts to talk to him about things, and everything goes kaboom. He gets so pissed at her that he's like, my clothing and suits do not fail. I give instructions on everything for this to work. It was user error. Hands down. So
I can't say what Tank just said because of
no, you can't. No, you can't, because it'll give it away. We're not even there yet. Stop jumping ahead like 5 seconds.
Patience, young Abrams.
Patience is a virtue. Yes. So that fails. That fails horribly. And Jen gets pissed, says, "I'll see you in court," and storms out. And before she does, she goes, "Can you open the door, please?"
Right. He's like, door.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the next day we see them in court. She's sitting there with Leapfrog, and Luke is sitting there without his lawyer because his lawyer's not there yet, which brought us to the geek out that JT's been referring to all season long, which is Matt Murdock showing up and being Luke's lawyer.
Yep.
Which everybody, I'm sure, went, "Yay, it's Matt Murdock, yay, Daredevil's going to be in this one, it's going to be fantastic, it's going to be awesome, it's going to be, hey, great," And, well, She-Hulk does what she has to do. She tries to do the whole, well, you know what, then we're going to need witnesses in here, we're going to need all this stuff, and the judge denies everything. And
and I agree with her argument 100% when it came to the bringing other witnesses in, other customers.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she is trying to establish a history of suits malfunction.
Yes.
So, I totally agree 100% with what she tried to do. Oh, I mean, makes complete and perfect sense.
100%. And that's when Matt Murdock makes a very good point as well, that his argument against that is, if you do this, you're going to bring out people who may have enemies. And those enemies will retaliate against those people and their families, so on and so forth. So, which, if you think about it, ties to the original Civil War storyline in the comics,
right?
Where Peter Parker, outed himself as Spider-Man because he thought it was the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And all hell started breaking loose against Mary Jane, Aunt May, and everybody that he knows around him. So it was a great and subtle callback to that original comic book storyline. Very subtle.
And the only thing, if I would have been in She-Hulk, the only thing that I would have said to counter his argument of, it would be exposing people, would be to say something along the lines of, I will stipulate to the fact that, could be putting people in danger. So these witnesses, if they feel they must, can come in uniform.
Yes.
So that their true identity not revealed.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So that would have been a good comeback for an argument.
Sure.
Against what he said.
But before she didn't even do that, Leapfrog throws his boots on the table, shows his legs, and Matt Murdock, with his sixth sense, so to speak,
his heightened sense of smell,
he goes, "Is that jet fuel?"
But he asked what. Did he say is it jet fuel, or did he ask what fuel he used?
Yeah, what fuel did you use in your rocket boosters? And that's when he admitted that it's jet fuel for the suit.
Luke goes off,
which and rightfully so, was against what Jacobson put in the instructions on that suit.
Yep.
So therefore, clearly, user error.
You're only supposed to use 91 at the highest.
Yeah.
89 is preferred.
Yep. Yep. So clearly, and you could see the look on her face when he admitted it was jet fuel.
Yep.
She was pissed.
Yeah, especially when Luke says, "Now I told you." I mean, basically, he said, "I told you specifically what fuel to use in these, and it was not jet fuel."
Yep. Absolutely.
And she wanted to do one of these.
She wanted to rip his head off. She really did. She wanted to Hulk out big time on this guy. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
Nakia makes a point. She says that She-Hulk should have researched that beforehand. I don't think she would have been able to because of secrecy that Luke kept with his records and everything.
Yes.
And Leapfrog was not going to admit to her that he used fuel that wasn't supposed to be used because she would have taken the case.
Right. Now,
I do agree. That's something that would normally be researched.
Lady Death made a good point with that research, too.
Mm-hmm.
That, yes, in theory, she should have done that. But the problem was she tried.
Yeah.
She already tried. She said, listen, this is what's going on. Help me, and we can get this done and over with and be done with it and whatnot. But you have to remember something. That's not how people work.
Well, and she also would have had to reveal who her client was.
Right. Exactly.
What happened and everything else. And that's lawyer-client confidentiality. It kind of dips into that field. So
yes. And
I don't know if she would have been able to truly make that argument with him.
Yeah. And that's the other thing when it comes to this is so far this show, although fictional, is showing how people really are. Think about it. Hey, I put jet fuel in my rocket boosters. Oh, my legs caught on fire. It's that guy's fault, even though he gave me explicit instructions on how to power them up, what fuel to use, and how to activate them to a T.
But that last part stayed in his head. It didn't come out verbally.
Exactly. He didn't reveal everything. It was
Nakia nails it again. People are assholes.
Absolutely. So after the trial, obviously it gets dismissed because Jacobson is completely innocent, and rightfully so. Matt meets up with Jennifer at the local bar that she hangs out in. The local watering hole, so to speak.
I want to skip back just a hair. Yep. Just a hair.
Okay.
As Luke is going to leave the courtroom, Jen whispers at him, "This is over. Take me to London.
Will you still take me back and make my clothes?" And he's like,
and he's,
no,
he's tapping her on the shoulders and talking all nice and sweet and everything, and goes, "No." No. I'm like,
So, as Jennifer's sitting at the bar, the bartender just gives her a drink. And she goes, "What's this?" And the bartender goes, "It's not from me, it's from him," and points out Matt on the other side of the bar. And he says to her, "You could have used it." And it was a green apple teeny, She-Hulk, whatever.
Yeah. That I like the symbol there.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Hands down. It worked perfect. And they get to talking. They get to talking. They get to, doing the whole friendship / lawyer talk. And then they also do the subtle superhero talk, even though she doesn't know he's Daredevil.
Right.
And he says, this is more along the lines of you helping people as a lawyer,
right?
But you can also help people as She-Hulk, which is very true. So
he's trying to recruit her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say trying to recruit her. I think more along the lines of trying to point her in the right direction. And that's what Bruce was trying to do in the first episode. Gotcha. You're a Hulk now. You have these superpowers. You can turn it on. You can turn it off. Use it for good. Okay? You can help people. Which is true. She can help people. There's no doubt about it that she can help people. So when it comes to that, you can see that is exactly like what's going through her head of, maybe he's right. At the same time, he gets a phone call
And she, I mean, because that is something that she's still struggling with herself about.
Oh, hands down.
I mean, it's the major struggle in her life.
Absolutely.
Other than finding a good man.
Yeah. So once he gets a phone call, he abruptly leaves. He leaves the bar, says goodnight, does whatever he needs to. And Jen, what was she was home, right? I believe she was home. I think she had just gotten home.
When she got the phone call?
Yeah, and she got a phone call from Todd Phelps. And Todd had
screaming at the top of his lungs like a little bitch.
Yes. Well, to an extent anyway.
Like a little bit.
Said he needed her, said he needed legal counsel, I can
But no, he was screaming that he was under attack.
No. You're jumping ahead.
Wrong guy. I was thinking from Leapfrog. I was thinking
jumping ahead.
Yep. Sorry.
So Todd, if you don't remember who Todd Phelps is, he's one of the law firm's biggest clients. He also went on a date with She-Hulk and basically said, your boss said that all of the lawyers there are available 24/7 for me no matter what. I need to see you on a legal matter. And he bought a Wakandan spear, and the Wakandans want it back. They are very adamant in wanting it back. And she's sitting down at the table in She-Hulk form, notepad, pen, everything, and he's trying to put the moves on her.
Yep. Like Nakai says, called her a specimen.
Specimen was one word. Had tried to give her wine, and she passed it back.
And Big Tank says he's a scumball.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Scum.
He is a perfect representation of what most people think rich, spoiled ass little brats are like.
Absolutely, hands down, 100%, no questions about it. Well, from there, she gets back to her apartment, and she gets a call from Leapfrog. And that he's being attacked by someone. Someone's chasing him. Someone's attacking him. And she says, okay, where are you? What's going on? He's in the car. He's driving away. And she goes, okay, you're not very far from me. I'll meet you there.
Didn't he say he was heading to the lily pad?
Yes, heading to the lily pad, but found out, where he was and met up with him. Only to find out that he was being attacked by Daredevil.
Good word, Nikaya. She said slimy.
Yes, slimy. Well, as Leapfrog is being attacked by Daredevil, She-Hulk shows up, and the two of them start going at it. They start fighting, and Leapfrog gets away, and he's heading to the lily pad, which he's mentioned numerous times before that he has a hideout. We'll get into that when we get there. So She-Hulk and Daredevil are fighting it out. They're having, they're doing whatever. And she finally gets to the point where not only is she breaking the ground that he's running on, but decides to throw a car at him.
Oh, no, she doesn't try to throw a car. She does.
But obviously misses, and then she finally gets fed up and does the Hulk clap, the thunder clap, and basically sends him flying into another car, and picks Daredevil up, unmasks him, and he's Matt Murdock, and she's like, Matt?
Why are you attacking my client?
Yeah, like what the hell? Lady Death says, dude sucks as a superhero or villain. Yeah, we'll get into that too.
Actually, he sucks as a human.
Yeah. Well, yes, so. That is true. Well, it turns out that Matt was chasing him because Leapfrog kidnapped Jacobson. And Clearly, that's what villains do. They kidnap people. So he's basically forcing Jacobson to make a suit for him, a new suit. And
did you hear all the shit that he was saying he wanted in this suit?
oh yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, body armor, laser eyes, ceramic this, and powered that. I mean, basically, he wanted a suit that was like a James Bond car.
He wanted Iron Man. That's what he
go.
wanted.
There you go.
He basically wanted Iron Man.
Yeah, that's a better reference.
Rib it and rip it.
That guy says ugly colors too.
I'm telling you, you know what? I'm gonna have to try and find that soundbite, and I'm gonna make it a soundbite. Rib it and rip it. I'm gonna make that.
It's got to be one that gets dropped like after every. I can't believe I read that story.
I'm gonna make that R. I'm gonna make a command for it. Rib it and rip it. Because I think it'll be great. Rib it and rip it.
Hey, you know what? When I'm doing the intro, that's what I'm going to use. Get to the ender. Hey, Sully, rib it and rip it.
Rib it and rip it. Let's do it. Rib it and rip it.
These are not the droids you're looking.
Rib it and rip it. Why not? So, they finally get to the point where they say, all right, let's go rescue Jacobson, because, you know, She-Hulk doesn't want any harm to come to him either. And
right.
they make it to the lily pad. And Matt decides that, you know, he's been doing this longer than her. And he should go in stealthily and she should wait outside.
Can I point out one thing?
Absolutely, you can.
It's supposed to be, correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I am, but correct me if I'm wrong. But it's supposed to be a secret hideout, right?
Yes.
Secret kind of goes away when you put lily pad across top of your freaking building in giant neon letters that are like 9 foot tall.
Well, I mean, you know,
it kind of ruins the whole secret thing.
I mean, to me, that tells me that, you know, hey, a villain is here.
Well, I mean, to me, that tells me that this guy's a freaking idiot.
Yeah. He's
if we didn't know before, now we...
Yeah. And Lady Death says, neon green at that. Was it green or was it red?
Yellow outlines with red lettering.
Let's see here. She-Hulk. Let's get the exact color so we're right. Images. It was red. It was red. Yep. It was a red sign, lily pad. I can prove it because I'm awesome like that. I can prove it. Images. And there we go. Picture, properties. There we go. See? I told you. I could prove it. Because that's how I roll.
Nick guy says, ID 10T error.
That's what we call a code 18, folks. Code
right.
18. We have a code 18.
Oh, yeah. It was just red letter. I was thinking that each one was in a box. So, my bad on that.
There we go. There it is, lily pad with Daredevil and She-Hulk sitting right there, right in front of it. Big Tank says, let's just say he's a Floridian that moved to L.A.
Actually, I think he was a Floridian that got kicked out.
Hey, just like the Puritans, so bad and uptight that they got kicked out. I mean, who said that? But no,
Florida's like, we got enough problems with idiots. Let's get him the hell out of here.
Yeah. But you know
kind of thing.
Even with Lady Death, it wasn't a matter of trying to prove you wrong. It wasn't. It's the fact that it's a big red neon sign
On a secret hideout.
that says lily pad.
On
Paul?
a secret hideout.
Come find me, villains. Be a part of this. It'll be wonderful. Knock,
I don't know
knock.
if I should trust you or not.
I wouldn't trust that cat.
Well, that's Pringles.
Okay.
Pringles isn't the one that tried to launch herself into space.
Sure. So
I think I'll be okay.
so as we continue to go through and Matt and She-Hulk are talking, she's finding out more and more about his powers.
Right.
How many people are in the building, what floor they're on, so on and so forth. And
I
she's
love
like,
that. I love that.
she's like, how can you tell? And he says, I can hear their heartbeats.
And he was so specific too. He's like, there's 25 people in the building.
Yep.
7 on the bottom floor, 8 on the 3rd floor,
Yep.
and the rest are on the 2nd floor in the hallway.
Yep.
And it's like, damn.
He nailed it, that's for sure. So
Pretty freaking specific.
so he says, we should go in stealthily. Let me go in, let me take care of these guys and you come on in. And she's like, why don't we just break the door down?
Right? I just kicked the door in.
So I thought it was a little bit of a tease when it came to the hallway scene, mostly because it was a huge reference to the hallway scene in the first season of Daredevil on Netflix, where I was not gonna lie, as someone who thinks that is one of the greatest one-shot camera angles in TV and movie history, that this worked perfect because there was no cutting. I'm like, maybe they'll do this. Maybe we'll see something like this. Perfect opportunity for it. It didn't happen, which is fine. The action was still great.
Oh, yeah.
But he took a couple of them out, and then more people showed up, and then She-Hulk busts through and knocks them all out.
Just comes down right on top of. I mean, like in a car,
Boom! Crushes them.
See arms and legs sticking out.
And it's
Little
funny.
switch here and there.
It's funny because she's like, what?
Like, how hard was that?
I didn't want to wait.
I was bored. I was sitting out there for. He kept saying a half an hour. I was sitting out there for a half an hour. I was bored.
Yeah. So they finally they break through to the main lair, so to speak, the main room that they're in, and they free Jacobson, and Patillo attempts to run away, and Matt's just kicking the shit out of everybody. He's just like boom, boom, boom. And Jen is over at Leapfrog like, what is wrong with you? You can fix this now if you stop, so on and so forth. And it doesn't really work. Because
I thought. Good.
Because he decides to run away and fall to the ground and breaks his legs.
Yeah. I thought one of the cool things was, want to say hi to just Pokey. Just came in and said, hey.
About time you came back.
Right. Too
We
busy
missed
following. They're too busy following somebody else. But what I found really fun about this scene, other than the fact that he jumped out the window and broke his legs, was how, when she told him, if we stop right now, we can, may be able to kind of work our way through this. I can, claim it was temporary insanity or something like that. And Daredevil, I can't think of his name, agrees with her.
Yes.
About that strategy. So they're sitting here talking.
Yes, they're going over lost strategy.
They're discussing the strategy that she's going to use when Luke sues the hell out of this guy.
It was great.
I'm listening to this and I'm cracking up inside. This is freaking funny.
It really was, because think about it. How many lawyers actually do that while fighting a real fist fight. None.
Well, I mean, just how many lawyers would do that
In reality,
at any time?
exactly.
At any time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
in reality, it's really hard to even pinpoint that. So,
right.
So afterward, you know, the cops are there and everything else like that. And Jen and Matt are talking up on the roof in front of the sign for the lily pad. And, you know, he says, after this, I'm going to be heading back to New York. And she goes, well, why were you here? You know, do you always come out on the West Coast to help somebody as a lawyer? And he said, well, you know, Jacobson made a few things for me. He's done stuff for me, and I owed him one. So, you know, it's like, hey, I made your costumes, dude. Here you go. Here you go.
That's why it's suing me. Come help me out.
Yep. Come help me out, and we'll be good to go. And, you know, even Jennifer asked him, you know, why don't you stay around to talk to the cops and everything like that? And he goes, no, you don't want that. You don't want to be trapped there, because then you're answering questions that you don't want to answer that can be used against you as a lawyer. So completely understand his take on it.
I do too. Completely understand. Before you go any further, I want to do a flashback.
Okay, we can do flashback. Diddle-doo-doo, 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 diddle-doo-doo.
I want to do a flashback to this episode when Jen and Mark were sitting at the bar and talking.
Jen and Matt,
sorry. You know me and names, I suck at. So, when they're sitting there and when they're talking, she breaks the fourth wall, I think, twice. And she kind of goes, are you feeling it too?
Yeah.
Is there something going on here? You know, so she's like, there's a physical thing brewing in the bar when they're having the drink.
Yes.
And flashback back to
the conversation on the roof, where where they get to the point of well, do you really have to leave now? I'm gonna leave in the morning. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, they talk about the whole long distance thing, and she goes, well, what if we skip that? where they go, and obviously they sleep together, and in the morning is the walk of shame when Nikki, you see him doing the walk of shame. Actually, would you even consider it a walk of shame? I don't know.
No, that was walk of gentle boasting.
Yeah.
But the thing I found funniest about that walk of shame was that, just like in other walks of shame, as they're going out, carrying his boots.
Yes, carrying the boots. And he's walking barefoot.
He's got his hat on, he's got his uniform on, but his boots are in his hand.
And of course, somebody walks by him walking a dog. Good morning.
Right.
And he keeps going. So Nikki shows up, and we've got a lot of stuff to go over still. There's Easter eggs and all this stuff. Nikki shows up and reminds Jennifer about the Southern California Law Awards. And she's like, and this is another fourth wall break of, wait, we're actually doing this? I thought this was like the perfect way to end the episode.
Right.
And Nikki keeps coming out and interrupting her. And she's like, okay, I guess we really are doing this then. All right.
And then she mentions seeing the guy doing the walk of shame down the street, and he flashed and she's on the couch.
And
yeah,
and the other part was, you know, when she gets up. Now, mind you, we were talking about this last week, where she flat out says, you know, this would have been a great opportunity for us to end the show. You know, maybe I'm sure you were expecting a cameo from, let's say, I don't know, the Red Hulk or something like that. And I went, you son of a bitch.
Yep. I heard.
You
said Red Hulk.
We just lost all your audio all of a sudden.
What?
Yeah. So whatever you just said was all dead air.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I don't know why the hell it did that.
I don't know.
But what I said was, when she said that, it took a second for my brain to register that she said that. And then when it caught I'm like, wait a minute. She just said Red Hulk.
Yep. And you went, shit.
The other part of my brain is going, freaking Sully. You know, he's bouncing up and down.
I'm like, no, that bitch. So we get to the gala, and there's people there that she doesn't want there, clearly. Her parents are there, Nikki's there and everything. And at the gala, they get to the point where, hey, it's the Woman Lawyer of the Year award, and they mention Jennifer. They mention multiple other people, including Mallory Brooks, and they invite them all. They
called everybody that was nominated.
Yeah, pretty much everybody that was nominated. Now, at the same time, I'm saying to myself, you know what? This is a perfect episode of saying, hey, you're a participant. Here's your award. Screw you.
Yep. I mean, I got to that point eventually, but at first it pissed me off.
Well, I'm sure it did.
This is pure affirmative action.
Right.
Kind of thing, and it's not right. And you could tell that the women that were on the stage were thinking the same thing.
Absolutely. And did you see the fourth wall break?
Mm-hmm.
Because when they called her, and then they started listing off everybody else, she just looks at the camera like, what the fuck?
Right. She's like, really?
So they get to the point where now they're, hey, do you want to say a few words? So on and so forth. And it's going down the line, and it finally gets to Jen, and she starts to say, I'm not really going to say anything, but I want to take this time to at least thank my parents and the people that I care about and everything else like that, when all of a sudden intelligentsia hijacks the big screen. And not just hijacks it, but starts exposing all of her personal information right then and there, and labeling video. Her a slut and showing her sleeping with Josh Miller from a couple episodes before. And claiming that she doesn't deserve anyone's admiration or any accusations, any awards or anything like that. And she gets to the point where she loses her temper and destroys the place. Bro.
Well, and I wouldn't say that she destroys the place, but she hits the monitor bank hard enough that it causes some plaster to fall other places and stuff.
She destroyed the whole screen.
Yeah, and she just, she destroys the monitor wall.
Yeah.
And everything, which, I mean, and everybody's sitting there going, don't do it, Jen. Don't do it, Jen. Yeah. Don't do it, Jen.
Even Mallory said not to do it.
Yeah, and I can totally understand her getting that pissed off. My question is this. How did they get the video of her?
Well, he recorded it on his phone.
But it was behind her.
No, it wasn't.
In part of the video, it was behind her because you could see her back.
Right, because
it's like
where her bed is.
I guess she could have been in a different.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they hacked her phone. They hacked her phone. They did everything. And by the way, when the video played, it was the Hulk King. They showed the Hulk King emoji, so that was there. But yeah, intelligentsia did whatever, and she noticed a few of them there wearing masks, from nose down, and She went after them. She caught one of them.
They all ran. They saw her and said, "Oh shit, time to go."
Yeah, and it got to the point where it was, and I don't know how Damage Control does this, but they get there very, very quickly. Department of Damage Control.
It had to have been a setup.
Oh, hands down.
As far, They had to have been on site to have been there that quickly because there was not that much time, and their office is not like next door.
Yes.
So it all has to be with part of plan of because they knew she was going to get.
Yes.
This was the reaction that they were hoping to get when they did this.
Yes.
So she fed right into their plan. The Red Hulk or whoever that's running this had them standing by on site, which tells me that they're under his control or somebody in the higher echelon of that organization is under this person's control or working with it.
Yes.
So, the web gets bigger.
Yeah.
The web grows just a little bit, but it still grows.
Yep. But that was also the end of the episode. No cutscenes, no
mid credits, no nothing. It's
nothing.
like, and the last thing you see is her kind of looking at the camera like shit. What do I do?
Shit, this is bad. We're dead.
And at the same time, I think it's kind of not only is it, oh shit, what am I gonna do now? But it was also this is really the first time that she has fully hulked out.
Yes.
She fully, completely hulked out to the point where she did not have control.
Yeah. Her temper, got the best of her.
And so that's first time in this that it's having. Nakia, no, there's one more episode.
One more episode on Thursday this week. So from there, we've got a lot of Easter eggs.
I'm just going to sit here and be quiet and let you go through.
So the first Easter egg, obviously, because we didn't really talk about it, was the beginning of the episode. And the beginning of the episode, it said, previously on She-Hulk, but in this one, it was previously on my show. So that's the first fourth wall break for the entire episode.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, if you go back and watch it, it says previously on my show. and mostly because if you think about it, it was a Daredevil heavy show. It really was. So you had to establish that previously on my show because Daredevil had his own show. He had three seasons. And he's got a fourth one coming out on Disney Plus that's going to be 18 episodes. Holy shit. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to make it work. The next one, obviously, is Leapfrog. Rib it and rip it. Oh, I love Rib it and rip it. It's going to be great. But the character himself is actually... his first appearance was in a Daredevil comic. So it made it perfect. It really did. Like full circle, perfect for Daredevil being brought into the MCU, which he's already really been in the MCU because of Spider-Man No Way Home and,
well, and we had
keeping everything canon,
We had the Daredevil representation 2 episodes ago. When she was in Luke's office and he said that his client confidentiality mean nothing to you, to one of his assistants.
Yes.
He puts the box down and we see the Daredevil helmet.
Yes. The other thing is we have mention of the Sokovia Accords.
Yep.
Which we haven't had mentioned in quite some time. Matt brings up the Sokovia Accords, mentioning that they've all been repealed. So everything pertaining to the Sokovia Accords since Endgame, gone. Gone. Sokovia Accords are gone.
Right.
So now, because all these superheroes and vigilantes are popping up out of nowhere, which I will argue, but that's a different theory later on down the line, that when Thanos did the snap, shit happened. And I'm talking about the first snap, not the second and not the third. So things are going on. Okay. But yes, they mentioned the Sokovia Accords, which is a very good tie-in to Captain America Civil War and all that good stuff. The other thing we have is the Daredevil theme. So if you've never watched Daredevil,
Only Daredevil I've ever watched was I think it was the very first.
oh, with Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Okay. The director's cut is 10 times better than the theatrical version. But no, this one it's the theme from the Netflix show.
Okay.
So when he comes onto the screen, you can actually hear the theme from Daredevil, which is really cool. The other thing is, if you think about it, when she unmasks Matt, it's kind of like a Scooby-Doo moment. Think about it. I caught you.
Oh, Mr. Potter.
Yeah. And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
Meddling kid. Yeah,
So-
you got to do it in a rough voice. I would have gotten away with it too if it wouldn't have been for you meddling kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So think about it. It could be a Scooby-Doo thing. The other thing is, and I mentioned it before, the hallway scene. So the hallway fight in this one, like I said, was a great reference to the hallway fight from the first season of Netflix. And the only way that scene got topped was the stairwell fight in the season 2. So, yeah, JT, it's up to you if you want to watch it or not. I think you should, because it's not your average colorful type of thing, you know, when it comes to it. Daredevil's very dark. I mean, it takes place in Hell's Kitchen. So it's much more grounded. It's more darker crime, you know. You might like it. You might.
It's on,
so that's on Disney Plus.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, that's on Disney Plus now. Ever since they got the rights back, it's on Disney Plus. So you can absolutely watch it.
Okay.
It shouldn't be toned down, because basically they just transitioned everything over. So you might want to, yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to.
Right. I got you.
But it's there. The fancy British AI. Now, we mentioned Leapfrog wanting all this cool shit in his armor, and that was one of them. The fancy British AI, where he
Bond car.
Which one?
A Bond car.
Yeah, like a Bond car or something. He was basically referencing Jarvis and Vision. So clearly it's a good thing that he wanted that. The Wakandan spear, that's another one. I have a feeling we'll be seeing that again in Black Panther, which comes out next month, which looks amazing. Just saying, it looks amazing.
Right.
The other thing is, if you noticed, when Jen ripped Daredevil's helmet off, there was a Rogers the Musical billboard behind them in the distance. So pay attention to that. If you don't remember that, go watch Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely loved Hawkeye's take on Rogers the Musical. Like, Ant-Man wasn't even there.
One of the worst Broadway musicals I have ever seen, and I've never seen one.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
I mean, you know, that's like fighting an uphill battle without a hill.
Yeah, pretty much. So, obviously, the other reference is the Red Hulk. We got the Red Hulk. We mentioned that. It was part of the fourth wall break before the gala. It's basically to be a joke, really, because Red Hulk hasn't been introduced yet. Will they? Maybe. I don't know.
I think it's going to be a small teaser.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode where they're going to do the glimpse thing.
Yeah, I kind of
Like
agree with you on that one.
you'll see like maybe a red foot going through the scene. You know how like a foot comes down and
That
then
would
the back
be
leg comes up. I
that
think it's
would
gonna be something
actually
like
be a
that.
great way to do it. That would actually be a great way to do it. I kind of like that idea.
You know, it's like the close up of the feet as Banner goes walking down the. You know, we have sad
Yeah.
music playing. You know.
Yeah. I mean, clearly we're not going to see Bruce anytime soon. So, you know, he's off gallivanting and doing whatever he needs to. The other Easter egg that we've got is a Wolverine reference. Oh, for some reason that didn't work to my advantage. What the heck just happened here?
I don't know. Nikaya said that was the one episode of Hawkeye I saw. One with the goal.
Really? That was the
You need to go walk back and watch the entire.
Yeah. You'll like Hawkeye. Like, wow.
I think it would be one of your favorite series.
I agree.
By the time you're done.
I agree. The other reference that we have, one of the other Easter eggs, is referring to Wolverine. We have another Wolverine reference. You can see Nikki in this shot right here. She is holding not one, but 6 different products for makeup in between her fingers, like claws, like Wolverine. So, good reference. Very good reference. Very subtle, but a very good reference as well. And, you know, clearly, you know, we've got the wonderful Hugh Jackman returning in Deadpool 3 as Wolverine. So that'll be nice. The other thing is we've got a reference to Bruce's warning. If you don't remember what it was, we've got numerous things here where he says that, you know, you're going to lose control eventually. And fear is what does it. Fear will make you lose control. And it proved Bruce right. You know,
because this is really, I mean, other than, you know, the shit that Intelligentsia had been putting out about on the website, they had done.
Yes.
But now they've out and outright attacked her, not physically.
Right.
But they've out and out. So, you know, this is the first time that had that unknown coming after her.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like that was completely warranted. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
You know,
oh yeah. Definitely.
I'm not saying she should not have reacted that way. But it worked because it was the fear of what was being produced that's what flipped her switch. That's what made her go savage.
Her entire personal life being up on screen with all the media there.
Yes.
You know, because you know the media is all over the place in there for award ceremony.
Absolutely. It's crazy.
Sorry, Kata.
Yeah, we're working.
I don't know what it is.
We don't know what's going on, but we'll fix it. So a lot of different Easter eggs that happened in this episode. A lot. Yeah. A lot. Clearly, we have a very good feeling that Matt Murdock / Daredevil will be in good hands under Disney. Will it still be the rated R-ish type show? I don't know. I think it might be more of a hard PG-13, close to rated R type show.
So PG-17.
Yeah, PG-17. We'll go with that one. We'll go with that one. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when Daredevil finally comes out. And that's going to be a long one. I mean, 18 episodes. Woo! I'm really hoping some Star Wars shows are not doing anything in between, because that's going to suck.
But it's going to be interesting.
Lady Death makes a very good point before we do the ranking that a lot of people were very upset that Daredevil actually had sex. And
Why?
I don't know.
Why is the man supposed to be a eunuch? Was the man chemically castrated so that he could? I mean, why? Why is it so shocking that a blind man who just so happens to be a superhero gets a little bit of nookie from a woman who also happens to be a superhero and also happens to be a lawyer?
Here's my take on it, okay? Clearly, these people have never read a She-Hulk comic book. Now, don't get me wrong. Her and Daredevil never actually hooked up.
Mm.
However,
well, we
there's
already
a
know
list.
how promiscuous She-Hulk.
Oh, she's very promiscuous. Very promiscuous.
Oh,
Okay? Let's put it this way. Character by the name of Star Fox.
mm.
John Jameson III. Clay Quartermain. Luke Cage. Hercules. Richard Rory. Zapper. Iron Man. Wyatt Wingfoot. The Juggernaut. Just to name a few.
Of the people that
She
She-Hulk
has
screwed?
slept with in comics.
Nice.
And
Way to go, Jen.
so Lady Death just goes, so she loves sex. So what? That's the problem.
She's not a nympho. I mean, she's not giving it up to every person that she meets and walks by on the street.
that we know of.
No, yeah. We'll stay with that. We don't. You know that she's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, what's wrong with her?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. People are just trying to bitch and complain about things.
Yeah, people ain't happy if people ain't bitching about something.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably more.
And the guy goes, Juggernaut, huh?
Yes.
Interest.
Juggernaut. But that was supposedly in a different universe, like one of the multiverse Marvels. I don't know. It's in a book. To me, she slept with the guy. Who gives a shit?
My
Not
question
me.
was this. I wonder if Juggernaut's curtains match it.
Well, he's a super villain / hero / whatever, so he probably doesn't have any.
Kaya says, maybe she's pagan. Freedom of sex. Leave us pagans alone.
There you go. That works. So
There you go.
all in all, JT, you did the rating last week first, so I'm going to give mine. I'm going to give it 4.
Wait.
What?
I wanted to make a prediction at the beginning of the show, and I forgot.
Oh.
I predict. And even though I was thinking this was the last episode, I'm still going to say this, knowing there's still one episode to come. I predict this episode will be the highest ranking episode.
Well, that would have to beat last week's.
Hmm?
Because last week was 4 3/4, and I'm giving this week 4.5. So
Really?
yes.
Okay. You didn't give as much credit to the Red Hulk area that I thought.
Because I kind of knew it was just a jab.
But still.
You know? It was just a jab. Big Tank, well, what version of Juggernaut? Ryan Reynolds or Vinnie Jones? Neither.
Doesn't
Comic
matter.
book version.
Kaya says 4.5 for her also.
So there you go. So what is your, how many atomic gamma bombs do you give it? Oh, dead air. He's thinking.
It's hard for me. And I don't know why. Usually I don't have this much of an issue giving ratings on episodes. And I've been thinking about this for like 3 days. Why?
Really? 3 days.
I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna go 4 1/4. I'll be
Okay.
nice. I'll give it a quarter.
All
Four
right.
and a quarter.
All right.
Um,
I'll give you that.
I like the throw out of the Red Hulk. I really like, and this may sound bad, but I like what they did with the intelligentsia thing.
Yes. Oh,
Because I
absolutely.
guarantee you that came out of nowhere for anybody. I don't think anybody would sit here and go, "Oh, intelligentsia is gonna hit," while she's at the Lawyer of the Year gala thing. I don't see. I should say I don't see it. I see very few people coming up with that scenario. So big time kudos to them on that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
The fight scene between Daredevil and She-Hulk was really cool.
It was.
The fight scene when they went into the lily pad, that was pretty good too. I love that they got Daredevil fighting alone first.
Yes.
I like that they got that in there. So there were a lot of good things about the episode. Believe it or not, and this is going to throw people for a loop when I say this, but believe it or not, She-Hulk hulking out
Yes.
actually took away from the episode.
No, I don't think it did. Why do you think it did?
I said for me.
Yeah, why do you think
You
it
know,
did?
and I can't really explain it. You know, and that's just it, is I can't really explain it. Maybe it's just because of the fact that for 8 episodes now, for 4.5 hours, basically, we haven't seen that happen to her. She's been, up to this point, she's been able to control herself completely with no issue. So
But again,
I don't know, just
that
it didn't really feel right to me.
but that just goes to point back to what Bruce said of eventually we're going to lose it.
Up to that point, been proving Bruce wrong.
Yep.
Completely, unequivocally, without a doubt. I don't know. Maybe it was just that I don't really feel that the stuff that they were showing on the screen. Don't get me wrong. There's plenty of reason to get pissed off.
Without a doubt.
I would have. But as cool-headed and everything as she has been through this entire series,
yeah,
to me, it was just a little bit too much of a stretch to see her hulking out at it. Maybe if they would have attacked her at that point.
Well, they did attack her.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they stayed in the back of the room.
Right, but all they had to do was play exactly what they needed to play.
But what I'm saying, if they physically attacked her at the same time,
yeah, no,
let her see see on the screen and everything else. Surprise attack from out of nowhere. I don't know. To me, and I want to emphasize that just to me,
yeah,
it's too much of a stretch that just that in itself would have set her.
So here's
just for me.
Here's the problem, and you have, and believe me, I'm right there with you with your line of thinking on it. But think of these guys as trolls.
Oh yeah, I totally understand that.
They're gonna do whatever they need to post pictures, video, anything like that, because that's their way of attacking.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Let her cause the problem.
Right.
Because then she'll get busted for it. You
right.
know?
No, and I understand that. I understand it. I don't know. Like it's hard for me to explain, but it kind of, for me, it just kind of took away from everything that Jen has worked so hard to get to.
Right.
At this,
but as Lady Death's just said, for a woman, it was an emotional ass kicking.
Right.
And it was.
No,
it was.
No, and I understand it. I understand. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, and before I said it, I said very controversial.
Oh yeah. Oh, hands down. Hands down.
But that's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
You know, it to me, it didn't take away a lot.
Just enough.
You know, it only took, you know, if I take that part out, it would be 4.5.
Yeah.
If I take that part out of the equation, it would be 4.5. But I have to be true to me and what I felt.
Absolutely.
So I have to give it a 4.25.
And Lady Death is saying 4.5 for her as well.
Yeah.
So
great episode, though. Don't get me wrong. Lovely episode.
Now we just got to find out what's going to happen on Thursday with episode 9 of She-Hulk, which will be the final episode.
So real quick, if the episode ended now, not discounting the cliffhanger of an ending that it would have been, what would your overall rating be for the series?
Overall, right now, I'm at a 4.5.
4.75.
Okay. See, you're above me right now. So there you go.
Well, that's because I had the 4.9.
That's true. You did. So
but I also had the 3.5.
Also true. So for me, 4.5 for the series overall. Obviously, with the last episode coming up on Thursday, we'll know more. Yep. The other thing is, and I just broke the news to JT about this today. First of all, that is the end of episode 8 for She-Hulk for Avenger Pretenders. We will be live next Monday to do episode 9. And then I broke JT's heart. We have to do a special presentation of Avenger Pretenders because we have to do another Marvel series, which is only one episode. It's only one. It's a special presentation.
Not a series, but a show.
Yes, a show. A show. Werewolf by Night will be a special Halloween type presentation of Avenger Pretenders. It has to happen. It's part of the MCU. We have to do it. That's the rules of Avenger Pretenders. And then after that, we're going to get into Andor, which will give JT a little bit more time to catch up on Andor. I know he hasn't been watching it, which is...
I haven't even started.
Perfectly fine. By the time we do start recording for Andor, obviously I'm going to watch it again, but we are going to do 2 episodes in one. So it'll kind of be an abridged version of the first couple of episodes until we're caught up, which will be good. So if
the first 3 weeks, 2 episodes.
Yeah. And when it comes to Andor, Western Echo will be joining us as well. Because he begged. He asked. He's like, "Can I join you guys?" And I'm like, "Duh."
How come I wasn't consulted on that?
Because I just found out about it the other day.
Okay.
That's really all it was. I'm just like, yeah, I don't care.
All good.
I don't care. He's just as much of a Star Wars fan as we are, so clearly, because JT's wearing Mandalorian and I'm wearing Star Wars, which was not planned for an Avenger Pretenders show. No.
I have a rotation system in my closet, my shirt.
Nice.
So that way I make sure I wear all of them, and it so happened that the one that got put on today.
There you go. Well, folks, we will be live tomorrow. 8 p.m. Eastern is the goal. 8 p.m. Eastern is the goal to start on time. We may start a little late tomorrow. I'll make that announcement in our Discord channel that we may start a little late. Depends on what we've got going on here at the house. We've got people coming to look at the windows to get them redone. So we may start a little late, but next Monday we will be live at 8 o'clock for Avenger Pretenders, episode 9 of She-Hulk. For JT Hollis and myself, we will see you guys next time on Avenger Pretenders, and tomorrow for the Sally Show. It's going to be awesome sauce. Awesome sauce, because that's how we roll. Oh, yes, that's how we roll, and we are going to do a raid, so make sure you say Punchers Unite in the channel that I choose, which I'm pretty sure you know who I'm going to choose, and it's going to be wonderful. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Bye now. Goodbye.